Every state has the primary duty to protect its own population from grave and sustained violation of human rights, as well from the consequences of humanitarian crisis, whether natural or man-made. This is a quote from the address of His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI to the General Assembly of the United Nations Organization 2008. Sustained crime and violence in Jamaica is a man-made crisis, and the Jamaican politician who forms government has a primary duty to protect its citizens. Crime and violence in Jamaica has been untenable for an extended period, with the contributing factors having a political genesis, while there are no major political efforts to curtail it. Jamaica, a country of approximately 2.8 million inhabitants, is listed 6th on the list of countries with the highest homicide rate by the United Nations Office on Drugs. 39 of every 100,000 Jamaicans are killed violently yearly. Colombia, a country which has armed militia combating for control of the illegal drug trade, is 11th on the list, ranked below Jamaica. A Jamaica Gleaner headline for Thursday the 26th of November 2015 read, "Every 7 hours someone is killed in Jamaica," highlighting the Jamaican Constabulary Force weekly crime statistics, which state there are 1,116 homicides from January 1 to November 23, 2015. The Honorable Peter Bunting, Minister of National Security, on the 6th of November 2012, in an address at the Jamaican High Commission in London, stated, "Because we have an above average violent crime rate for at least 4 decades, the estimates that some of our professors have done is that cumulatively it has cost us 60 to 90% of where we would otherwise have been in terms of our GDP and size of our economy." This is a testimony that the problem has been well known by politicians. The Commissioner of Police, Dr. Carl Williams, in explaining the current murder figures to the House of Representatives Internal and External Affairs Committee, stated criminal gangs in enclave were responsible for over 60% of murders in the country. On conception, both political parties in the 1930s had a frequent political clashes resulting in division and tribalization. The violence escalated in the 1970s with the introduction of the use of firearms in these conflicts. Political parties then attempted to solidify a base of political support and created garrison communities. SIVES 2014 states, "Garrison is defined as a community in which any individual group that seeks to oppose, raise opposition, or to organize against the locally dominant party would be in physical danger, thus making continued residence in the area extremely difficult, if not possible." The garrison created by politicians is an enclave for loyalists, and those started in inner city urban areas has spread in recent times to rural areas in Jamaica. The garrison has an informal leadership arrangement referred to as dons, and they are the incubators of gangs. The gangs were conceptualized to retain power for political parties. However, they have transcended this initial function and have now evolved to internationally legal narcotics trade, arms trafficking, racketeering, and money laundering. This development is highlighted in current activity in the Commission of Inquiry into the killing of 77 people, to include a member of the Jamaican Defense Force in Tivoli Gardens, West Kingston, May 2010. The killings occurred after security forces attempted to enter the Jamaica Labour Party enclave of Tivoli Gardens to serve an arrest warrant for the gang leader, Christopher Duduscope, who was wanted by the United States government to answer drug-related charges. The security forces met resistance, However, Coke was later arrested and extradited, and he did plead guilty and is sentenced to 23 years in prison. Other issues also highlight politician reluctance to address the crime problem. They include failure to reform the prisons, which are dilapidated, inhumane, and are known breeding grounds for organized crime. However, no efforts have been made by successful administration to remedy the defects of the prison. The justice system is another area which needs reform. The courts are understaffed, backlogged with poor infrastructure and outdated practices. Laws are reportedly enforced inconsistently, and the populace are of the opinion individuals are not treated equally. There is need for constitutional reform for checks and balance on executive power, campaign finance reform, political code of conduct, and a national identification system which is needed to aid policing. The government, however, will highlight their efforts at thwarting the contemporary issue of lottery scamming. They have indeed enacted legislation and established MOCA and the Lottery Scam Task Force and have successful prosecutions, assets forfeiture, and for this they must be commended. Lottery scamming, however, is a non-violent crime that affects foreign nationals, mostly American citizens. It is lobbying and pressure from the American government while politicians have acted and not their own initiative. The effort taken to address the issue affecting nationals of foreign countries should be replicated locally. Politicians must enact legislative change and entrench the Electoral Commission of Jamaica in the Constitution, embody into law the code of political conduct to be agreed on by all political parties, and rationalize Jamaica's anti-corruption agencies into Integrity Commission, which have the authority to prosecute politicians. The political parties and by extension the political system facilitates crime and threatens national security through the existence of garrison communities, irredance, and failure to enact legislation. These communities and the individuals are major violent contributors, and their mere existence must be challenged by politicians to improve Jamaica's crime situation. President of United States of America, Barack Obama, stated on a visit to Kenya, "In the end, if the people cannot trust their government to do the job for which it exists, to protect them and to promote their common welfare, all else is lost." Thank you. There were no questions to my sentence outline, so I'll say goodbye.